Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, and exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, and exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, and exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, and exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5 more rounds. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, and exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, and exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. 3 more rounds. Just watch my count. Two more with the ocean breath. Now turn your awareness to your hands and your feet. Notice the separation between you and the candle, between you and your device that you're using to watch this video. And as you look into the candle, imagine the person or persons, situations in the light of that candle. And imagine having a machete or golden scissors, maybe a Archangel Michael sword, and start cutting those cords with those situations or the person or persons. And if you feel so called, imagine a violet flame burning those cords. Say whatever gratitude you have to the situation, people, or person, and then let them go. Imagining the water pushing them away from you as you rise. And if you feel so called after you are finished and they are gone, bring your hands over your heart. You can either soften your gaze or close your eyes, whichever you feel so called to do. And just feel that love. Breathe it in. If you're seeing a lot of green, that's that chakra. And it's okay if you're seeing another color that you resonate with. Just be with yourself. And feel the love coming up into your head, down into the throat, left shoulder, right arm and hand, right shoulder, right arm and hand, down the spine, down your torso, down the left leg, glute, thigh, and foot, and the right glute, thigh, leg, and foot. And when you're ready, open your eyes. Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Stephanie and I'm here to support you recovering from religious and emotional trauma. So I know we all feel this. Those of us that are sensitive, when I mean sensitive, I mean those of us that have empathic tendencies. But at the same time, can detach from them, as we did at the beginning of this video. So the reason why I welcomed, why I ushered you in that way is because of what is taking place. We just had a solar eclipse on the 25th of this month. Mars will be in retrograde either today or tomorrow. And also, might I add, happy Day of the Dead. I know most of us look at today as Halloween, but I look at this day as the Day of the Dead. It used to be that the veils were very thin at this time, but the veils are always thin. And the reason why that is because we're fully entering a new earth, fully becoming ourselves, those of us that are there, and we are fully embodying who we be. So those of us that are not, we are looping. I call it hell because I used to do the exact same thing. Those of us that have body dysphoria, it probably feels like hell. And it's sad. And my heart really does go out to you because I have finally understood that when it comes to body dysphoria, and I mean all kinds. I mean, we have people with bulimia. We have people that just don't see the beauty other people see in them. You know, there's all kinds of, you know, dysphoria. And to be quite honest, I blame society and I blame religion for that. Because society and religion truly has traumatized people to the point where sometimes, sadly, there's no return. So, it saddens me, but that's why not everybody is going to be able to be in that space of love. Because they don't know what that means. They don't know what it really means to love themselves. They don't know what it means to be or know their worth. I mean, I know someone in an open relationship and he's clearly not even happy. Neither is she. And I mean, I've seen all kinds of open marriages and open relationships, and you know, I can only speak for myself. That's not a relationship. And that's settling. And people are so much better than that. Okay? And that's just me. Those are my thoughts. And the reason why I'm saying that is because this is an ending. We're having a full moon in Taurus, and there is a huge ending because not only is this a full moon in Taurus, this is a full moon eclipse in Taurus that we will be able to see in the United States. So there's a lot of things that are coming up. I mean, we're finishing one eclipse, and then on the 8th, we have another one, the 8th of November. So for me, as I stated in my other video, I did have some anger. A friend of mine also had anger. Some of my friends have gotten sick. Some of my friends that I get in divorce, they're getting hit hard with their feelings and their emotions because they're grieving a loss of what could have been or what could be with someone else. I'm seeing my work shift. I'm actually going to be moving in November, okay? So there's a lot of endings. So if you are in an open relationship, you may finally, your eyes after the eclipse season may be open to, oh, that's what this is, right? Because I really do feel that a lot of people do not understand what they're saying when they're saying open relationship. And clearly, someone's going to get hurt. And it's usually the person that did not suggest it. And it goes back to knowing your worth. If you are sick right now, if you are just down and out, just know that this is a clearing for you, and that your body and the universe wants you to stop and feel. Because when you're always on the go, you're not going to feel. There is absolutely, I don't care what sex you are, male or female, whatever. There is nothing wrong with feeling. Society is wrong. Your religion is wrong when they tell you that you just suck it up as a guy and not feel anything. And especially when they say, oh, just pray to God. And if you have truly let it go, then you don't feel anything. That's bullshit. There's also nothing wrong with getting counseling, getting a coach, getting therapy. Okay? There's nothing wrong with doing coaching and therapy. All right? This is what I am doing. I am guiding you to another alternative, to another way of being. If you so choose to do this, if you so choose to allow your heart to be open to this, okay? So, like I said, there's just a lot going on right now. And, I mean, these eclipses are about 2 weeks apart. So there's just going to be a lot. Now, know that during an eclipse, there's a lot that you're not going to be able to see. We have Jupiter in retrograde, as I mentioned before. And then you have Mars that's in retrograde. So if there is conflict and your sun is above the horizon, which I've discussed several times, I will post my past video when I mentioned that, which was the eclipse and the solar eclipse, something of the eclipse in a Scorpio, something like that I named it. But I will post that in the comments or in the description, sorry, so that way you can go back to that. But anywho, know that there's not going to be a lot you're going to be able to see. Okay, so if you're not in a relationship, it may be a good thing to just be friends instead of being in that right now. Just because there's nothing that's clear. There's a lot of smoke. It's like when you're driving in fog and you cannot see. And you just hope to God you don't hit anyone because you can't see shit, right? That's where we are right now. Feelings may be up and down. So if your sun's over the horizon, Mars and Venus, remember, they do not like you. If your sun is under the horizon, then they will helpful. But if your sun is over the horizon, you have Jupiter and you have Neptune that are helpful. Okay, so we're going to start with Scorpio. So Scorpio, I want to say a little bit more about Scorpio, just because even though the eclipse is in Taurus, we are still in Scorpio season, and this is pivotal. And let me tell you who is pivotal too. So there is this book. It's called Practical Astrology by April Elliott Kent. Okay, highly, highly recommend it if you want to go deeper into this. So I thought that it was just Sun, Moon, Ascendant for Scorpio, or any kind of sign that I've mentioned. Is more to it than that, which is how I found out that yes, I do have Leo tendencies, because if your sun is in the 10th house, which mine is, then yes, you do have Leo tendencies. So Scorpio, so you are most likely to identify with Scorpio, of course, if your sun, moon, or ascendant in Scorpio, or if you have a close aspect to Pluto, because Pluto is death, right? And by the way, if you have had anybody that has suddenly died because of the magic potion, I sincerely give you my heart, from my heart, give you my heartfelt apologies. There has been a lot of death, and there has been a lot of death in the spiritual sense and in the physical sense. So if it was a physical sense, I do sincerely share my condolences with you and my love. Okay, so back to Scorpio. If you were born with number of planets in the 8th house, I believe I did state in my last video that Scorpio would be, I believe I said number 6, but planets in the 8th house, though, that is others' income, inheritance, and death. So that is why Scorpio applies here, because Scorpio is essentially death. Okay, not necessarily a physical death, but you are not the same person that you were yesterday. Okay. And then lastly, you can identify being a Scorpio if you were born with Pluto in your 1st, 4th, 7th, or 10th house. All right. Pluto in the 1st, 4th, 7th, or 10th house. All right. So what I want to say about Scorpio is kind of a little bit of compare and contrast between the two, really. So Scorpio, yes, Scorpio is stubborn, just like Taurus. They are both fixed signs. But the difference is fixed water means stagnant water. Fixed Taurus means an earth that does not move. Okay. So why am I bringing that up? Because you're going to see both. All right. It depends, of course, on what sign you are. But let's say you're like me and you have an ascendant. Well, it's going to affect you because then Taurus is in your 7th house of relationships. And right now the North Node is in Taurus. The South Node is in the 1st house for me. So for me, that means, yes, I do have Taurus tendencies because I do like to take things slow in a relationship. But I do have Scorpio tendencies. And because Mars is in my 1st house, it does not take me time to make a decision, especially when it comes to a relationship. But it does take me time. It used to take me time, put it this way, when it came to friendships, because I was just so loyal. Now, it doesn't take any time to do that at all. If people leave, which, you know, this is a repeat of the beginning of the year. So if you had a lot of friends leave, if you had a lot of family not talk to you, your clients leaving, whatever, then that is a repeat of that. Maybe in a different way. For me, it's I'm seeing coworkers leave, or being asked to leave. I know that a friendship, to the gentleman that I referred to that's in an old relationship, I feel like it's coming to an end, which means to me it wasn't even a friendship to begin with. And I could be completely wrong, but I trust my worth, my wisdom, and my inner wisdom, and my what's the word? My intuitiveness. So I really do feel like it's ending because he's not my focus, right? So, and I'm at the point in my life where, you know, if it's not meant for us to stay friendly, then that's fine. So it could be like this with you. It could be that your open relationship may end, all right? Because you discover that, oh, that's all this was about. Okay, I deserve way better than this. Or it could be that you don't have an open relationship and it can still end. Friendships can end. You know, a mother-daughter relationship can end. Whatever. A job could end. You could be moving. You could be having a new job. You could be ending one part of your life and starting with another part of your life. Okay? So, something to think about. But unless you have Mars in your first house and your ascendant, usually it does take Scorpio a while. Usually Scorpio likes to cry, I'll say, about a situation, but it takes them time to finally make a decision. And when they speak bluntly. They get to the point and they say what they say and they mean what they say. Okay? And they're not going to be with you unless they are sure they want to be with you. But we are very introspective, very sensory people. We like time to ourselves. We really like time to ourselves, whether we're in a partnership, friendship with you or not. We like our alone time. We don't like that interrupted. Okay? Now, Taurus, on the other hand, they are all of what I just stated of a Scorpio, but the difference is a Scorpio can be blunt and can say what they mean, and they can take the exact same thing. Taurus cannot. Tauruses get very offended easily. They're very unsure of themselves. Okay? They can be very needy, which is really annoying to a Scorpio, which is why Scorpio and Taurus are opposing signs, okay? Yes, they're both fixed. But you tell Scorpio straight up, they love it. You tell Taurus straight up, they get offended. Okay? So, a Scorpio, what is the downfall of a Scorpio? Keeping their feelings in and not expressing it. Not expressing how they feel. Okay? Not feeling their emotions. That is their downfall. If they do feel their emotions, then awesome. If they refuse to do that, then that is their downfall. Because what will happen is, when the Taurus keeps nitpicking and interrogating the Scorpio, I'm just using this as an example, then the Scorpio eventually is going to be angered by that. And then it'll go from anger to rage. And nobody can beat us in rage, especially if we have Mars in our chart. We will turn into a hurricane because it's like the calm before the storm. And you will see a whole other side of us. A whole other side of us that you have never seen before. Now, Taurus. How do you know if you're a Taurus? Okay, of course it's the sun, moon, ascendant. Close aspect to Venus because Venus loves Taurus. And Venus actually is one of the rulers of Taurus, aside from the moon. You might have been born in a number of planets in the second house, right? Because Taurus is the second sign of the zodiac. So if you go according to that wheel, Taurus is the second house. If you were born with Venus in the 1st, 4th, 7th, and 10th house, then you identify with that. So I did describe Taurus, so we're going to stick with Taurus now. So Taurus is definitely very sensitive in a totally different way. Yes, they have introspective, like they like being alone also, but they also like taking up somebody else's time because they have in their head that this is how it should be. I witnessed this at work. of a Virgo saying this is reality, and a Taurus said, but this is how it should be. And it's very hard for a Taurus, to deal with reality. Because in their head, this is how it should be. I have blinders on. I am not going to change. This is how it should be, and this is what I'm going to focus on, whether it is like that or not. I have a sister and a dad that's a Taurus, and this is how they both act, especially my dad. But that rock shouldn't be there because I can't see. And whoever built this road, they shouldn't have built it this way. And, you know, can you tell me what the answer is? You know, and Libras are the same. And I'm saying that because we just finished Libra season. Libra and Taurus are alike like that. They're also alike because Taurus like to sing and Libras like to play instruments, right? And I do have that heavy because, you know, I used to play guitar. So Taurus, they're very needed, but I don't know what the answer is. Well, can you just tell me? No, I can't just tell you. And the Libra is the same way. When they are not balanced, well, what do you think? Do you think I should do this and that? Do you want me to do this and that? And it's like, just figure it out yourself. Like, I'm not going to hold your hand. So, you know, they can be very needy. Please hold my hand because I don't know what I want. And Pisces is the worst with that. But we'll save that for another time. So this is Taurus. You know, Taurus is also, they love to cook. I don't know what one Taurus that does not love to cook. They love to cook. They love to eat. Because of this, a lot of them do have some weight issues because they love to eat. A lot of them love to stress eat. So, you know, they gain weight from that. Instead of just feeling it and letting it go. Taurus can be very emotional, but not in a good way. They will project their emotions to you or generate it to you wherever they fall into the human design. Taurus also, they're either good with money or they suck at money. Most Taurus, I know they're really good with money, or they spend too, you know, but when they suck up money, they spend too much of it, right? But as mothers, a Taurus mom, they're very protective, but they're also very, you need to do it this way, knowing full well that's not how your kid's going to do it, because that's not how you do it. Taurus dad, they're fun. My dad was fun. He would throw me up in the air when I was a kid, and he would play with me and all these things. Taurus dads, they're really good when they're in it, right? Let's see. The moon loves them, as I stated. They do represent the third eye in the body and the throat. Scorpio is the sex organs. Libra is the kidneys. Okay. So when it comes to a Taurus, a lot of them have neck issues. I know this as a licensed massage therapist, body worker. And when they're set in whatever they're set in, they're going to do it, whether it's right or not. And it's because they don't understand that the difference between what they want and reality. So the full moon in Taurus is going to be quite intense. I would see where it falls into your chart. For me, it's house of relationships. And even though Venus is not there, even though the moon is not there, it's still in relation to, right? So it's going to be really interesting. Again, you know, there's a lot of smoke. There's a lot of fog. There's a lot of things you're not going to be able to see. But that's when you let go, like we just did at the beginning of this, and you just surrender and trust. Okay? That's life. Life is all about surrendering and trusting. Some people will understand this and some people will not, because some people are still going to be like, no, I got to work hard and I got to fight to this and I got to fight. That if you keep doing that, you're going to keep looping. You're going to keep looping. Okay, so we're going to end this with some questions. So this full moon eclipse, this is who is going to affect, aside from Taurus. It's going to affect Cancers, Virgos, Scorpios, Capricorns, and Pisces. So I named all of them except for Cancer. And yeah, except for Cancer. But I named all the other ones. Oh, except for Cancer and Capricorn. It's going to be more challenging for everyone else. To me, it is going to be still a bit challenging for those that I have named, depending on where you are in this moment. Okay? If you surrender, whether Mars and Venus like you or not, whether Jupiter and Neptune like you or not, if you surrender and you flow and you just keep cutting cords and keep cutting cords, because that's what I'm going to do. Because when you continuously cut cords with a situation or a person, they're not going to feel that energy with you, and they're going to not want to be with you anymore. So if you keep doing that and you surrender and trust the process, it's going to be just you flowing and just watching the fog clear. If not, then it will affect you. Okay, so here are the 5 questions. Something that you can do in your spare time. Feel free to comment below this video and put your answer or just share if you feel so called. So here are the top 5. Have I been lazy or overly self-indulgent this month? Have I been lazy or overly self-indulgent this month? For me, I haven't been lazy at all, but I have been taking my time and breathing through things, which is a great thing because I like to cut in. I like to give advice instead of ask, and I'm learning to ask, and I'm learning to breathe while the person is telling me the answer or speaking instead of just interrupting. 2, have I been too obsessed with money or status symbols? Have I been too obsessed with money or status symbols? For me, the answer is no, because my knowing and my inner wisdom tells me that money is like love. I have plenty of it. So when you have that kind of mindset, you're always going to have money. Have I been stubborn, jealous, or possessive? Have I been stubborn, jealous, or possessive? That could actually go for Scorpio and Taurus. I would think more Scorpio. But, you know, the Taurus can be that way, but I feel like Scorpio can be more obsessive and more jealous, especially when it comes to partnership. They want to make sure that you're with them. So, 4, have I been doing too much comfort eating? As I mentioned, sometimes Taurus like to eat. They like to stress eat. Okay, so that is eating for comfort. I no longer do that. So, and I'm very grateful for that because I know how that can be. Have I been doing too much comfort eating? And the last one, have I done enough exercise? That could be walking, and I do walk. I do some strength training, but mostly for me, it's been yoga and stretching. So it can be walking. It doesn't mean you're hitting the gym. You could be running. You could be doing vinyasa flow, because that is a workout. Whatever that looks like to you. Okay, so feel free to comment below. Like I said, there's a lot of smoke that's going to be coming in even more. There's going to be a lot of things you cannot see. But if you are just patient with yourself and love yourself and you know your worth, then you will refuse to settle and you will refuse to be sucked into other people's situations. And you will continue to cut cords because you do not have to write down. I mean, if you feel called to write everything down you want to let go and burn it, fine. And then call in, fine. I no longer feel called to do that. And if you no longer feel called to do that, then look at the beginning of this video, because that is a new way to let go. Okay? And that is also a new way you can call in. All right? So I hope you get to see the eclipse. It will be at 3 a.m. It will start at 3 a.m. and it will end at 6 o'clock in the morning. So it's going to start at 3 a.m. at night and at 6 in the morning. I will try to wake myself up at that time, or it may even wake me up at that time like it did last time, so I can see it. And if you love this content, please like, subscribe, and share this. And just know that you are loved. No matter if you are in this hell of a loop or if you are dealing with your shit. Either way, you are still loved. The universe loves you, and I